You're watching Star Wars Weekly Live Chat with The Force is with Jesse. The Force is with you, always.
Y'all ready for this?
Yep.
Hey, what the Fett is going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to a new little series I'm doing, which is obviously like an after show sort of thing. Yeah, Boba Fett book report. Wow, we're already here at Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. I'm pumped. I've already watched it twice, and I took a bunch of notes, so plenty to talk about. Looking forward to hearing everyone else's thoughts tonight. I'm really excited. It wasn't a long day, but it was a impatient day. Let me just say that I was feeling quite impatient most of the day, just hanging out for Book of Boba, and yeah, I feel like it really delivered. I think we were sort of a couple of us talking at work today. We're talking like, oh yeah, maybe it'll be like a 55 minute episode, a bit like the opener to season 2 of Mandalorian, but sort of came in about 35-40 minutes, and I think it achieved exactly what it needed to, and that is really just playing catch up on where Boba Fett is right now. So looking forward to getting some thoughts. We've got some awesome folks here already. Straight out of Coruscant's here. What's going on, man? Carrie's here. Darth Muzzer. Michael Reed. Hey, Michael. Mr. Hasbro Star Wars. Oh, hanging out. This is awesome. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is pumped. Looks like everyone is... everyone's sort of in agreement here. Awesome is the word, says Michael. Muzzer says, wow, I'm impressed. SOC says, wow, such a great episode. Kerry says, that one cameo where I pumped my fist and screamed, yeah. There's a certain blue fellow. That was brilliant. That was really good. I was so pumped. I literally just posted this, a screenshot on Instagram. So I didn't see it as a spoiler. So if anyone's going to complain, they can just, move it on. VIP right here. That was so good. The good thing is about it airing at like, stupid o'clock in America, like 12 a.m. through to 3 a.m., depending on what side of the country is it drops at like 6:30 p.m. here. So that was perfect. I was really stoked. Milky Way Skywalker's here. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on. Red Quall's here as well. Everyone seems pretty stoked with that. So yeah, let's just start with some notes, eh? Look, I've got 2 pages worth that I want to sort of talk about. Just the opening shots of Jabba's palace, like just sort of seeing like the palace sort of empty. It was quite bizarre. It's cool to sort of see how accurate and how good they were able to shoot that set, as good as it was 40 years ago. Like it's incredible. It was really cool to see. Boba Fett's day spa, room with a view, looks nice in there. And yeah, obviously gets back into the flashbacks, which is where we start piecing together what happened to Boba, which was really cool. Usual Mike's in the house. What's going on, Mike? Now we know why Figure and Dan is in the pipeline. Yep, that'll do it. And Figure and Dan picked up the guitar. Max Rebo's going up in price. Time for a new Max Rebo, I think. One that's accurate and doesn't have feet. Because, he's basically just a head, a bum, and two legs. That's all he is. Look it up. Look up Max Rebo. Legit. All hail the new Max Rebo Cantina Band. They still played the same song. Middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Kia ora to you too. Love Chapter 1. Boba is a great New Zealander. Absolutely. Stormtrooper in the Sarlacc. I'm glad you picked up on that. Where did he come from? That's what I want to know. Why is there just a random Stormtrooper in there? I'd like to know. I'm interested. I'd love to hear what you thought. I do have that in my notes somewhere. I did. Look. How did Stormy get there? So yeah, the flashbacks being, flashback to Attack of the Clones on Camino and Geonosis. That was really cool. The thing I liked about in the Sarlacc pit is you could actually hear the screeches of the Sarlacc from Return of the Jedi. You could actually, just as it went sort of in, you can sort of hear those screeches that come out of the beak of the Sarlacc. So I thought that was nice. It was really cool. When Boba said mate. Yeah, that was the most Southern Hemisphere thing ever. I was going to... It feels very Aussie, but I imagine the New Zealanders do say mate quite often too. So it's definitely a Southern Hemisphere thing. At least Australia, New Zealand, we're very much mate. Ed 5, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Tales of a Stormtrooper, next series. I hope so. Now everyone's going to be wondering for the next 40 years how the Stormtrooper got in there. He's probably been in there for 600 years. Flashback at Topoka City was epic. Wasn't seeing the Slave One there. That was so cool. That's like Rancor drop Stormy in the pit. Yeah, you reckon that was Patrick that threw that one in there? He's like, oh, it doesn't belong. It turns out it doesn't belong with the Rancor. We'll just throw it in the Sarlacc. Oh, awesome. Such a great bunch of folks in the chat tonight. This is fantastic. I appreciate you all coming to hang out and talk about Book of Boba Fett because, what an opening. So, yeah, how did Stormy get there? That was where we went. Seeing the sail barge there, wrecked on the side of the sand dune, that was freaking cool. And yeah, the Jawas, I noticed when the Jawas came and started pulling the armor off of Boba Fett, all the sound effects of the Jawas were exactly the same as the ones they used in A New Hope. Just the little, the Jawas sort of chittering and chattering. So that was kind of cool. Just a nice little throwback. Why not use some old sound effects, just shows that they are Jawas, and they one just completely clocked him in the head, Boba Fett tried to grab his leg and he just went, nope, not today. Out. Mos Espa. So that is the big city we've been seeing on all the trailers. So it turns out Mos Espa is a lot bigger than we saw in, Phantom Menace and briefly in Attack of the Clones. So there is this whole sort of not subterranean, but within a canyon sort of city, which this is sort of looks like it's where it's based, particularly in this area where they go to the cantina / bar / mini casino. It sort of felt a little bit Canto Bite-ish as well. There were some sound bites in there from the pokey machines from Canto Bite in The Last Jedi. So that was nice. I like that little nod to continuity there of I thought that was really cool. Waiting to get someone dropped in the Rancor pit. Yeah, that'll be cool. And if you notice in the trailer, he's got all the people sitting around the table. Boba Fett's at the head of the table. He's not sitting over the Rancor pit. All the guests are sitting over the Rancor pit, and the ends of the table are sitting on either side. So he still gets to keep all his food, but he's going to drop a bunch of people down there, I think. Stormtrooper fell in during the droid search of A New Hope. Hey, it's possible. Can't rule that out. It was Imperial occupation on Tatooine, so it's definitely possible. Stormy didn't come back for looking for droids. Legit lost it when Jawa stripped Boba of his armor. Yeah, that was good. They're literally just ripping it off his body. I'm glad they left him with his pants on and his overalls. But yeah, obviously we knew that the Jawas were going to end up with it somehow. So just to them to come along and just strip it off him, makes complete sense. And then you can really pick up with Cobb Vanth's story back in Mando season 2. Love the loyalty of the Gammies. That was cool, wasn't it? That was really cool. It looks like they haven't eaten much since they were serving Jabba. I imagine that's because Bib Fortuna was eating all the food. They look a little bit slimmer. But, I mean, the Gamorreans back in Return of the Jedi had the big puffy, woolly skirts, sort of woolly clothing. So they may not actually be like big porky pigs. So we're just sort of seeing them with a little less gear on. Star Wars Addict 88, thanks for coming and hanging out. Can't wait for episode 2. Enjoyed the first episode a lot. That mayor guy was interesting. Yeah, the major domo for the mayor. That was, I feel like he's going to cause a bit of strife. Love the new version of the Cantina music. Also, wasn't Max Remo on the barge when it exploded? Apparently not. Unless that's like Max Rebo's brother, Mike Rebo or something. I don't know. Usual Mike Rebo. No, I assume it's Max Rebo. Like, well, if Bib Fortuna was able to make a dive for it and get out, so why couldn't Max Rebo? Could have survived. There was a big wreck there. It did just get completely blown to smithereens. So it looked like a big explosion in Return of the Jedi, but there is still a fair bit of solid wreckage there. So there could have been some spots. Maybe he didn't hit under his piano or something like that. Star Tours droid dealing cards. Yeah, that was a nice little nod. I really like that cantina scene, the bar scene. That was really cool. Gam guards were great. Never seen them like that before. Did see a couple of those sort of Gamorrean guards looking like that when they were fighting each other in, it was the first episode of season 2 of Mando. We saw a couple of Gamorrean gladiators. That was really cool. But yeah, definitely a little bit different again. Glad they didn't go over the top with the music. Left for Dead on the Sands of Tatooine by Jawas. Who would have thought? 88 torture droid makes a terrible protocol droid. We should torture them. Was it the last homestead? No, I don't think it was. It was more of a square building as opposed to the last homestead being like majorly a dome. But yeah, definitely moisture farmers. So of the same ilk, same sort of business they're running there. So back to my notes. Coming into Jabba's palace. There's a note here. I'll get back to that later. But yeah, the Trandoshan's gift. So when everyone's coming in and giving Boba Fett, like, what were they calling him? They're basically giving him a gift, to say welcome to Mos Espa. The Trandoshan gives him a Wookiee pelt, which was really interesting. Like, I picked that up on the first watch. And yeah, it's quite obviously like he skinned a Wookiee. That's what Trandoshans do. I love that. It's sort of that, the old Wookiee Trandoshan rivalry. So that was really cool. I thought there was a good mix of aliens throughout the episode from like PT, OT, and ST. So a lot of cool aliens. There was a few aliens sort of mixed among that bar scene. You recognized a couple. There was one from Canto Bight. There was one of the little Hask thugs. If I can find him, I can. So there are a couple of these little guys running around. There was one, I think he was manning the bar. So a couple of those. So it's cool. I mean, obviously they're just reusing costumes from previous movies. They got a big book backlog of costumes and masks and outfits and stuff. So that was cool. We sort of touched on familiar faces throughout the episode. So yeah, 88 torture droid, which was funny. Max Rebo, one of the modal nodes, Gamorreans, Cantina Band song. And there was one of Bom Vimden species. So in the cantina, there's a guy just with a horn on his head and he's got a funny looking face. He walked past just as Boba and Fennec were walking into the cantina, so that was cool. Yeah, absolutely savage, man. No space werewolf, though. Hey, it's only episode 1. Only episode 1. Don't rule it out. It was cool sort of seeing, when they're out and about in the Tatooine streets, seeing all like, the market stalls and just all the greeblies they have on the walls just to, it really takes you back to A New Hope and parts of the prequel trilogy where they're on Tatooine. Just the feeling of the streets, aliens walking around, merchants and, tarps hanging from building to building, sort of providing shade for the merchants. I love seeing that. it just feels so Star Wars, like Tatooine. It's so good. And of course, parkour. You can't not have parkour. Parkour is awesome. Everybody loves parkour. And yeah, once these two dudes started running up the wall, I was just thinking of Michael Scott from The Office when they were doing parkour and they're all just running around the office going, parkour, parkour. Yeah, the Tuscan Raiders were cool. The Tuscan Raiders. So yeah, we got a lot more Tuscan Raiders in like Mandalorian. So we're starting to really evolve and sort of not evolve, but sort of growing and seeing a lot more of their culture, which is really, really cool. And seeing that there are different tribes that appear different, they look different, and you know they've all got their own sort of methods and stuff like that, which is really cool. And the fact that a lot of them had those sort of darker color robes, it really explains why Boba Fett was wearing darker color robes when he first appeared in Mandalorian. So that was cool to see. I really liked that. The different outfits, like the chief especially, and you know the 4 or 5 guys that sort of went out with him at night to sort of chase Fett down when he escaped. Just yeah, I'm going to call him a chief because I just sort of relate that to a tribe, and you know his mask looked really cool, and he was adorned with sort of different jewels and bones and stuff like that. So that was cool to see. Really like the little Camino and Geonosis area in flashbacks as well. In his dream, shows Filoni and Favreau try to tie it all together. Exactly. Tuscan Raider Chief guy was cool, handling Boba Water, respect for killing the arm alien. Definitely. But yeah, one thing, you know, you see some Tuscan Raider teenagers, which, you know, we've seen women and children, not just the men, but the women and the children too. Now we're seeing teenagers, and they could possibly be the worst. Just shows that no matter what universe you're in, no matter what species, teenagers are assholes. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, they're just sort of poking Boba with a stick, and then they start whacking him, and it's just like, yeah, you guys are buttholes. And Rhodians are just straight up punks. They always will be. Rhodians are just, yeah, they're like the bullies that end up, you know, running away or something like that. Yeah, Rhodians suck. I love Rhodians. I do love Rhodians, and I love hearing him talk. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, it's definitely the same mask reused from Rogue One and Solo. Ooh, good question. Do you think somebody stole Slave One? Yeah, they took the bumper sticker off that says Slave One and put Boba Fett's Starship on it. No, because we've seen in the trailer that it's parked in Jabba's palace. So whether or not he hasn't got it yet, and then he goes back, or whether it's just been parked in Jabba's palace all this time, who knows? We're going to find out very soon. I dare say we'll still get some more flashbacks into episode 2. I think the sort of post-traumatic stress that Boba's had, you know, he's having these dreams, these flashbacks, that's going to be a big part to play, I think, going forward in this series. And I called it about 2 weeks ago. I put a little post up on Facebook, and I really think we're going to see Mace Windu in this series. I think we're going to get Mace. Crazy old one-handed. No, did he get both? He lost both hands, didn't he? Or was it just one? I can't remember. The episode's weekly. Yes, they are. Absolutely. I think there's seven episodes for the next 7 weeks. So yeah, make sure you come and tune in on a Wednesday night. And I am streaming on Facebook too. So if anyone's watching on Facebook, hello there. I think he lost both hands. I think he did too. Swear that Rhodian called Boba a MFer. I'm sure he did. He called him a slimo. So yeah, back to my notes. The 4-armed lizard centaur guy. What a cool alien. What a cool monster. Comes up in the subtitles as Sand Creature. So I'm assuming he's got a better name than Sand Creature. And if Hasbro want to get to work on that straight away for a vintage collection release, sign me up. I'll sign my name on that. Fabulous Disaster. What is happening? Thanks for coming and popping in. That is awesome. The digging for water on Tatooine, though, like, come on. It's like looking for a dry spot on Camino. It's... I understand, like, the little nuts or whatever they are buried somewhere on Tatooine. Are they everywhere? I don't know. Are they dropped by something? Who knows? I'm sure it's something we can discuss for the next 40 years. Where do the little sand nuggets, little water nuggets come from in the sand of Tatooine? Are they eggs? Are they like the sand creatures' eggs? Who knows? Ming-Na Wen and Tim Morrison are awesome. They'll kick so much ass over the next few weeks. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It just, yeah, couldn't ask for a better duo for the series. I think it's going to be awesome. It looked like the Tuscan child was taking credit for the kill. I think he was coming back to sort of say, look, this guy saved my life. He killed a monster. You know, he saved my life by killing this monster. You know, this guy deserves to, you know, get a little bit of respect from us, sort of thing. I think that's what I took from that. So we'll see. VC re-release of Gamorrean Guard on a Boba Fett card. You know it'll happen. But I want a new Gamorrean Guard with his rig out. Yeah, let's have a look here. Anchorhead is happening. So yeah, Boba basically unties his knots and he says to the Rodian, he says, look, I can get us out of here. No, it's when they're digging for water. He says, look, I can get us to Anchorhead and then we can get a transport. And we've seen in the trailer Boba walking into, which people have lined up with the footage from Anchorhead from A New Hope, the deleted footage. And they've actually linked up like significant, you know, like there's a light switch doorway. Excuse me. That was my Sarlacc scream. Yes, and people have pointed out the two people, there's a couple of Klatooinian raiders, so like the gang that spray painted that house with water. Don't they know it'll dry up? So yeah, the trailer you sort of see them beating up a couple of people, and they look like exactly like Cammy and Fixer. So I think that's where it's going. I think that would be a nice little nod to you know, all the way back to the cutting room floor of 1977, which is crazy. Boba taking out the beast though, like choking it out, is very much a hero's journey trope, which is really cool. So Boba's definitely going on his own sort of hero's journey, I guess. He's you know, throughout the flashbacks anyway, like he's almost coming to a reality where, you know, he's been working as a bounty hunter for so long, but now he really has to sort of find a way to operate on his own. And you know, it takes a rite of passage almost to get there. So he's definitely taking some steps into, you know, a sort of hero's journey of sorts. So I'm interested to sort of see where that goes. Everyone buying more massives on eBay, no doubt. They went nuts when Mando come out, didn't they? People are actually 3D printing them now. And yeah, the thing that sort of I got to think about with you know, Boba Fett sort of becoming a part of the Tuscan tribe right there at the end is there's almost a lot of, if you know the story of a Sharad Het from Legends, which is basically a Tuscan rated Jedi. Do I have a figure of him on hand? Yes, I do. He's only got one of his lightsabers. So yeah, look up a Sharad Het. Basically, he is, you know, a Tuscan Jedi. He comes back and takes over the tribe and yada, yada, yada. I can't really remember the story all that well. But I sort of feel very much that this is sort of Boba Fett sort of going through this sort of similar story. You know, taking over a tribe of Tuscans, you know, becoming their leader, or, you know, a famed warrior among their people. I think that's really cool if that's sort of something that's touched on. Hey, Red Leader One's here. What's going on? Want to know about the stormtrooper got there? Well, everyone was sort of saying that, yeah, maybe there were some desert patrols when they were looking for the droids, and one fell in. they're not that bright. And also, like I sort of said, Tatooine had Imperial occupation for a while. So imagine one got out there somehow and just sort of tripped and fell in. That Tuscan Raider Chief is one who teaches Boba Fett how to use the Gallifrey stick like Boba owns in Mandalorian Season 2, right, when he gets his armor. Yes. I thought that too, just when he had that fight with the other younger sort of Tuscan, is that, he's got to learn how to fight like these guys if he's going to survive out in the desert with them as a member of the tribe, because there's probably a number of years still out in the desert before he comes into it in Mandalorian, so he's going to spend quite a lot of time with the Tuscans. So I'm very interested to sort of see how that's going to play out. Whether we're just going to get, a couple of flashbacks here and there, or whether it's going to be something that follows through the whole series with flashbacks. Thought that beast was going to be a Rancor. I thought that too. Yeah, I thought that too. I thought when you sort of saw the scales, I thought it was like the Rancor was back, and I thought it was like maybe a smaller Rancor was going to pop out of the sand, because we'd heard rumors of Boba riding a Rancor, but maybe like him standing on the back of it, choking it out. Like that might have been what people have sort of seen in maybe some concept art or something. So I've literally gone through my notes already, like literally just touching on all the smaller things, but I'm going to talk about this for a little while longer. It's only been like half an hour, so I'd love to hear what people's favorite parts were, what we're looking forward to. Do you think Mace Windu is going to come back? That's what I want to know. Do you think Mace Windu is coming back? Looking back at it, the Wookiee pelt looks like a youngling. Yeah, it looks like a young Wookiee. Like it's it's not like, a 6 foot, like, or 8 foot long Wookiee is going to drape way more over his arms than that. So, I dare say it was a young Wookiee, which, that's a little bit cheating, isn't it? Flashbacks are great. Can't wait to see more. Yeah, I think it was a really good storytelling method to get that out there and sort of go through Boba's flashbacks of having these dreams of how he got out and what happened. And, it was really cool. I'm looking forward to more. Really looking forward to it. Thought it was going to be a Crate Dragon. No, it would have been cool. What if it was the Crate Dragon from Mando? That would have been interesting. Favorite bit, Max Reboot for sure. Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it? Boba will probably win his freedom from Tuscans, then go looking for Jawas. Possibly, yeah. But it gets to a point where he does find out who Cobb Vanth is, and that Cobb Vanth has his armor, because he does mention, the armor you got from Cobb Vanth back on Tatooine. He says that in chapter, whatever chapter that was, the Tython episode. So yeah, he does have to find out about Cobb Vanth and Mos Pelgo and all that. Another Tuscan scream. I apologize. It's been a long day and I am fairly tired. Was hoping for an hour-long episode, but can't complain. It was a great episode. Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be a little bit longer too, but like I said at the start, I really think it achieved exactly what it needed to as a first episode. I think it did exactly what it needed to do, and that was, we needed that sort of catch up with Boba. What's been happening? Where's he been? How did he get there? And we're going to start filling in those parts, as well as seeing where he's going. With sort of current Boba. I want Mace to come back, but I can't see it. How do you think they'll bring him in? Very good question, and I'm interested to sort of see how they do it as well. I really, really am. I have very little idea on how that could happen. I haven't even begun to think. I just know that we got a tip off from someone who works with someone at Lucasfilm and has some insight that there's a character coming in Boba Fett that hasn't been seen in Star Wars for a long time. That was all we were told. No characters and nothing. No hints, no clues. Just that. We just got that. And I'm not going to name any names, so I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But basically, like, we just sort of had a few bets, and not bets, but we just sort of thought, who could it be? Who could it possibly be? The other rumor is Harrison Ford came back to shoot for some de-aging stuff. So Han Solo is definitely a possibility. But yeah, I feel like Mace is more of a possibility. I think he died from a fall after having his hands chopped off. He didn't cop anywhere near as much lightning as Luke got in Return of the Jedi. And he basically just got flung out a window. We know Jedi can land from stupid heights. So it's, yeah. I think it's possible. Good morning, Canada. Hope you're doing well, Mike. They brought back Palpatine. They can pretty much bring back anyone. Somehow, Mace Windu has returned. Got a good chat room, my Star Wars buddies. Absolutely. Always get a great bunch of folks on my live streams. I love it. It's just such a good gang of people. I really appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. Maybe it's Commander Cody they bring back. Maybe. Could be Rex. Yeah, Fennec was brilliant, man. Like, I love sort of seeing her get a little bit down and dirty too, chasing those two ninja guys over the rooftops. I think that was really cool. And then when she finally caught up with them and they threw something at her, she did like a backwards spin flip. It's like, if Ming-Na Wen did that, like, goddamn, like, the woman is 60, or is she almost 60? I don't know if she is 60, but she's probably around that mark. She's incredible. She's absolutely fantastic. Star Wars is going to benefit from having her in it for a long, long time. And I really want that Black Series figure. 38 minutes went so fast. Can't wait to see more Boba. Hopefully some Gonk cameos to come. Ooh, I wouldn't go past it. Yeah, it was a quick 38 minutes. Even watching it twice, so I was like, oh, there we go. That's cool. Awesome. I'd love to see a Clone Commander brought back. Where Filoni has anything to do with it, let's say Commander Wolf. That would be really cool. Sure, Filoni would bring him back in a good way. It would be so sick. Can you force fall without hands? Mace doubtful, maybe another bounty hunter, e.g. Bosk. Hey, Bosk's a good one. Bosk could be possible. I don't know if you count Luke's force kick on the skiff in Return of the Jedi. I know that's sort of made up headcanon now because he's actually meant to kick the one, but there's that shot where he goes to do a high kick and he's about that far away from the guy. So people joke about it being a force kick. Yeah, I dare say we're going to see more bounty hunters. I think Bosk is probably a good bet. Dengar could work. I mean, any of those original 5 could work. The other 5, IG-80, IG-88. I don't think they'd want to get him confused with IG-11 at this point, being that IG-11 has been such a strong point of Mandalorian, even though, it was only one season. I don't know if anyone would want to differentiate those two. They look too similar. I don't think they'd bring in IG-88 unless, completely different sort of personality, like droid programming, like he had to be completely different, sound completely different, act completely different, and maybe they could pull it off somehow. But yeah, I don't see them bringing IG-88 in. Bosk, yeah, I'd say definitely. Would everyone lose it if they brought Jango back from the dead? Absolutely. You see that picture someone did? They got Boba's head of him in the back to tank and just photoshopped out his body, so it was just his head, and it said Jango Fett after Geonosis. That was really funny. I love that. That was brilliant. Just checking the comments to see if I've missed any, but I haven't. I don't think I have. I've been pretty well up with it tonight. That's really good considering the amount of people in commenting. Awesome. I appreciate you all coming out and hanging out. Definitely want to get a guest on in the future, the next few weeks. Someone to come and shoot the breeze with. Yeah, I'd love to get someone in to come and have a chat. That would be awesome. But yeah, really, like, it's just cool to have Star Wars back on TV. You know, like, it's been 12 months since Mandalorian, and we've had Bad Batch, but having more live action Star Wars is just, it's what keeps us going now. You know, like, there's no movies coming out in the cinemas. It's hard to get cinemas anyway. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing where this builds, and apparently it's going to have an ending. So we're not going to get a second season of Book of Boba Fett, but I guess we'll sort of see how popular it is. They could change it. They could intermingle Fett with something else in the future. So we'll see. We should get the old bounty hunter gang back together again. Would be epic as Luke's return. It would be pretty good, wouldn't it? Like, see a little bit more of like 4 LOM and Zucker's like living and breathing as opposed to just sort of standing there. Went back and finished off Resistance the other day. Really great last few eps. Nice. I will have to do that at some point. I finished the first season and never did the second season. So I may have to get on that, because I did enjoy it by the end of the first season. There was a few episodes throughout that was a little bit of a slog, a little bit hard to get through. I want to see a flashback of Cad Bane's death. You know what? I don't think Cad Bane's dead. So there was that deleted panel, that video, that sort of previs sort of shot from the Clone Wars where they had Boba and Cad Bane facing off. And it appeared that Cad Bane had actually died. Like, Boba got his shot off and, you know, Cad Bane's shot dented the helmet. But then when Cad Bane come back in Bad Batch, under his hat, he had like a metal plate on his head. So I think he's survived that. I think we'll be seeing Cad Bane again. Got to head off, buddy. Thanks for the stream. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you coming and hanging out. It's awesome. Always great to hear from you, dude. We'll chat again soon. But yeah, it's I don't know. I do need to let it sink in a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to chatting with the guys at work tomorrow, getting a few of their thoughts, discussing it, probably talking to everyone that comes in about it. So saying, yeah, have you watched Boba Fett? Well, if you haven't, I'm going to talk about it anyway. If you don't like Star Wars, I'm going to talk about Book of Boba Fett. Oh, Milky Way says, who's sending the parkour guys? And Mark's saying, come from the mayor. I think so too. That's the feeling I got. Is that, yeah, he sent, you know, word got to the mayor pretty quickly that Boba's in town. And, yeah, probably wants to take him out pretty damn quick. And it sounds like a bit of a power struggle. The mayor's probably wanting to keep some kind of control now that Jabba and Bib Fortuna are out of the picture. And yeah, probably knowing how much of a threat Boba Fett could possibly be as a crime lord. It was weird having everyone call him Lord Fett too. I found that really strange. That didn't quite sit for me, that Lord Fett. I don't know. I'd never really thought of Boba Fett as being like a crime boss, but I guess that's where it's going, and I'm along for the ride. I think it's quite cool, to be honest, just to sort of see him step above just being a bounty hunter, you know, making money for a living. He wants to control it, and you know, possibly give everyone, you know, a better life than he was having as a bounty hunter. So we'll see. So who's the mayor? I believe it's that Thorian from the trailer. I believe that's the mayor. Parkour survivor going to feed the Rancor. You assume Jabba's got more than one Rancor, right? You assume he'd have all sorts of beasts and stuff down there. Guessing it's someone already we know. Our Lord and Savior Fett. Do you have 5 hours to talk about our Lord and Savior Boba Fett? Preach, brother. Preach, preach, preach. All right, so we're at 40 minutes. I'd love to hear if anyone's got any any other thoughts. So I feel like I've rinsed my mind of everything Boba Fett now. So, this show here tonight will sort of replace my Saturday night live stream, which may or may not still pop up in between weeks. If I've got a sort of quiet Saturday night, I still might do a live stream. But for the most part, this little series, the Boba Fett book report, is going to be my little jam for the next few weeks. So I'm pumped about that. Doing a little midweek live stream. I'm excited to chat about it every week. I love doing the Mandalorian after show. And when I was doing the Star Wars Go Figure podcast, we did Mando Watch, which was after season 1. And that was a lot of fun. So I'm loving having these sort of little breakdown shows and talking about it with everyone fresh off, the excitement of an episode dropping like within a couple of hours. So that's awesome. Have you heard that Lego not making any Book of Boba sets? I haven't, but I'm probably not really that surprised because I'm sure they'll just put out an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter again. If we see the Rancor still alive with a big bandage on his head, I'm going to lose mine. It's like, what if he's still got the gate hanging in his head? No, that Rancor's long gone. But there's Moochie. Remember Moochie from Bad Batch? Surely he had more Rancors down there. Surely the Wrinkle Pit wasn't the only one because he had a door that opened that let the Rancor into that pit. So there's got to be other doors. There's got to be other cages. There's got to be a whole, he's got an accolade down there. He has like a barrel of bees or something. I don't know. There's like he's got like a Kowakian lizard ape or whatever it was. I can't remember that thing. It was in Resistance. There was a Kowakian like ape lizard or something like that. It was like a gigantic King Kong monkey lizard. I've watched the Tythorn Mandalorian episode at least 15 times, so nice to see some new stuff. Robert Rodriguez was the ideal first episode director. Definitely agree with you there. No, I love going back and watching that episode and just watching Boba just completely kick ass. Like, it was like just smashing stormtroopers up, man. Like, I'm so ready for some Boba Fett action figures. Some new ones that aren't, Empire or Jedi. Really looking forward to them. I know a lot of people in the United States have already got like the new Boba Fett, the Tython one with his sort of nomad outfit and Fennec. I'm really, really hanging for those figures. Me and my mate, we've got this perfect spot that looks like Tython close by to us, probably a 20-minute drive. So we're going to head out there with Boba and Fennec when we get them. A bunch of stormtroopers and the artillery trooper. And we're just going to go out there and shoot some Tython scenes because I reckon that'll be awesome. Get some really great photography with them. Oh, what grade do you give this episode? That is a very, very good question. I don't know. You know what? It's hard to rate them when, like, I'll go through and rate them once we've got the whole lot out, I think. Because it's just so new and fresh that I really just want to give it a 10 out of 10, like, just because I enjoyed it from start, beginning to end. It showed me what I wanted to see. It, gave me some cool little nods like Max Rebo. Come on, Max Rebo. Gave me a new version of the Cantina band to set as my ringtone. So hopefully that happens. Come on, iTunes, get it out there. Yeah, it's going to be hard to say. I will look forward to sort of doing a little bit of a ranking come the end of the season and just sort of really seeing what really picks up, because go back to season 2 of The Mandalorian and the first episode with the Great Dragon, that was like 10 out of 10 for me. And then we got everything else and it was just like, holy crap. Compared to Mando episode 1, I'd give tonight's episode an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's a nice rating. I'll sit on an 8 if I've got to give an answer. I'll give it an 8. I don't know what I'm taking points off for. Probably another 5 or 10 minutes would have been cool. like maybe a musical montage of how good was the astromech drummer? Like he had a little symbol on his head and he's like ting ting ting. And he was like tss, tss, tss. That was awesome. I love the little astromech drummer. He was so good. But my is that Figrin Dan? Is that Figrin James Hetfield? I don't know. Ah, good. Oh, hello there, Mr. Shorty Film Fan. How are you, sir? I was just talking about our little planned trip out to Tython when we get those Boba and Fennec figures. So if anyone has them early and want to send me one, my address is on my page. You can send me figures. That would be awesome. No. I was underwhelmed because I was spoiled by trailers. Oh. Underwhelmed. But there was Biff Guitarist and an astromech drummer and Max Rebo. And there were palm trees inside. It was the best. I want to go to that Cantina bar. It looks... You can go and have a nice seltzer or something. But I think I'm going to wrap it up, folks. Nearly at 50 minutes. I thought an hour would be, if we get close to an hour, I'd be happy. But yeah, definitely ran through 2 pages of notes. So I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to achieve. And yeah, looking forward to really soaking in this episode and watching it a couple more times throughout the week. So I'm really, 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 really excited. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going back and picking out some of the bits and pieces. Like, how did Stormy get there? Opening up with escaping the Sarlacc was essential in Max Rebo. Yes. Oh, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that so much. Mr. Milky Way Skywalker, what a gentleman. What an absolute gentleman. I really do appreciate that. A big Happy New Year to you. Belated Merry Christmas to you as well. And yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate all your support. Hey, it's Jedi Nugget. What's going on, man? Glad you could pop in. I'm sure it's pretty darn early for you. Oh, I'm glad you could tune in. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I am just about to wrap it up. So yeah, definitely go back and rewatch and see what everyone else had to say. Because it was yeah, really good points in conversation tonight. I had an absolute blast. But oh man, I can't thank you enough. That means the world. That's yeah. It's supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate that. It really keeps me going. That sort of, it just means so much. I know it's only a tenner, but it's not a lot. But for me, that is huge. That is very generous. I really do appreciate that. 2 a.m. Nice work. I appreciate you staying up. Now go to bed. No, thank you all for coming and hanging out. Take it all easy and have a great one. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have some videos up throughout the week. Yeah, if you're watching on Facebook, I didn't see any Facebook comments, but I will still stream to there if StreamYard continues to allow me. Just gives everyone a little bit more of a place to watch. I don't know, something like that. I'm starting to mumble. I'm starting to jibber jabber. But yeah, thanks everyone, and yeah, really appreciate you. Love yous all, and we'll see you next week for Boba Fett book report. Looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts next week when we've all had a little bit more time to stew and a second episode. So until then, may the Fett be with you. Take care.